Mike Craven here, Dave Campbell's Texas Football with Baylor quarterback Sawyer Robertson. Sawyer, before we start talking about Baylor, your cousin, Jarrett Stidham, good football player, obviously. What did he tell you about Baylor before you transferred there? How much did y'all talk about that before you got there?
Yeah, he helped me actually quite a bit when I was in the transition process from Mississippi State to Baylor. I remember calling him one time, just asking him how it was. Obviously, the rules were a little different whenever he was going through his process and stuff. And then when I remember texting him that I committed to Baylor and stuff, and he was fired up for me. So great dude. He's a great guy to have in your corner.
What would your advice be to guys in the portal looking for a new place and kind of a new start?
Man, honestly, it would be there's so many things that go into it as far as like playing time, and you want to be in a place that you're going to enjoy. Not only like within football, but outside of football too, because you need that kind of escape from football whenever football just like feels like it's all you do. So having like a spot that you can go fishing or golfing, like something like that. So just going to a place that you really enjoy and has people that can pour into you too is really important. That's what I found in Baylor.
Your dad was a high draft pick in Major League Baseball. You were also a baseball player. Who's the best athlete in the family, and kind of what's his advice been to you as you kind of navigated this world?
Yeah, he's been great for me. Kind of had a similar story. Like he was a football and baseball guy, but he actually got drafted out of high school to go play baseball, and then he got hurt and came back and played football at Texas Tech. And so he's kind of a dual sport guy, and just like navigating that, like like saying like, Dad, what do I do as far as this and that? He gave me really good guidance. A lot of times it was just pray about it, see what God calls you to do, and that's the best advice that honestly anybody could give me. As far as the best athlete in the family goes, there's a lot of good athletes in my family. Just in my immediate family, Dad was obviously football, baseball player. My brother ran track at Lubbock Christian University really fast, and my mom was a really good basketball player. And so I'm probably going to go with either my dad or my brother, but I got to throw my mom in there too, because
That's the right answer.
She helped a lot too with those genes. So.
Mom is the right answer.
Yeah.
You were kind of one of the last quarterback recruit for Mike Leach. I'm curious, kind of your favorite Mike Leach story. How'd you kind of meet him? Like, what were your first impressions?
I mean, how much time do you have?
As much time as you have.
Dude, yeah, there are a bunch. I was actually telling this story earlier. My very first good one is like when I committed. I spent all day calling the other coaches that had been recruiting me. It was a pretty bad day, to be honest, because I was telling all these other coaches hey, I'm not going to come play for you. Thank you for all your time, but I'm going to go to Mississippi State and play for Leach. Well, I did all that before I actually talked to Leach about. I told the recruiting guy and the position coach hey, I'm going to commit. I hadn't gotten to talk to Leach yet, and so then I did all that for hours, and then I finally called Leach. I was like, hey, coach, I just want to let you know I'm gonna come to Mississippi State. I want to play for you. And I kid you not, he was like, oh, that's great. We're excited. So where's your favorite Mexican food place in Lubbock to go eat? Just completely 180 degree. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? That kind of thing. But I answered it. And then when I got there, just all the stories and knowledge that he had with things other than football, whether it was Native Americans, mob bosses, all the stuff, those are always fun stories. You always get a little nugget of knowledge from him, and he's just all the quirkiness, all the things he did. Our quarterback room there was really close with Will and Braden and Daniel Greek, all those guys. We still text in our group chat, just tell Leach stories all day, and so just that kind of culture was really cool, but he created that.
What was your answer for the Mexican restaurant?
There's a few places in Lubbock I like. Mama Josie's Kitchen is a good one, and a few chain places like Abuelo's, Chewy's, those places, Tex-Mex places are really, really good. So
last year you entered the season kind of starting as the backup. How did you kind of handle that quarterback battle, and what was it like kind of staying ready to get your name called?
Yeah, it's tough, because you invest so much into it, and then when you don't get when the cards don't fall your way, it's tough to deal with. But my whole mindset was whenever I get my opportunity, I'm going to make the most of it. And it ended up happening. And I was able to just have faith. I had peace about it throughout the whole time. Just whatever God had in store for me, I was going to trust it. And whether that was going to be to start the season or if it was week 6 or if it was week 8, I was just going to try to make the most of it and step up and be the best quarterback that I could be for the team and fill that role. So.
Y'all 2-4 going into that Tech game. You're a Lubbock native. That win felt like it kind of turned it around. What did that mean to you personally to kind of go and get that win?
Yeah, it was cool for sure. I had 40-something people, family members and friends at the game, and so that was definitely special at the end of it. But to be honest, like I prepared for that game the same way I prepare for every other game. And I'm not going to sit here and say that like that was the Super Bowl by any means. It was definitely special though, just being from Lubbock and being able to play in that stadium that I grew up going to all the games, watching Crabtree and Graham Harrell and all those guys playing. And so that was Mahomes. Like it was really cool to finally play in that stadium.
What would you think the main difference was between how y'all finished and how y'all started? Like what changed for you guys?
I think we learned how to win, to be honest. Where like beforehand it was like we were snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, and so after we won the first game, we started rolling, and I kind of had it in the back of my head the whole time. I was like, man, once we get that first win and we learn how to win, it's gonna just be smooth sailing from there, and that ended up being true. And so after we got the first one against Texas Tech, we just kind of rolled from then on out, and so hoping to keep that momentum carrying into this season.
As a quarterback, what makes the Jake Spavital offense so fun to play in?
I think I can't give enough credit to Coach Spav himself. Just his whole like mindset, the way he coaches us is incredible. If I was a quarterback coach, I'd probably do nothing different than he does. I definitely wouldn't be as good as he is. And then from there, just like the system, there's so much freedom with checks. He gives the quarterback like at the end of the day, he's like, you're the one out there playing the game. Like you got to be effective. You got to be the one that like knows it like the back of your hand. And so he always puts me in the right looks, and then if there needs to be like a little adjustment while I'm out there, he gives me the freedom to make it. And then at the same time, like I said earlier, like just the mentality, the way he coaches us is huge. He doesn't get in our heads about anything. If we make a mistake, it's next play mentality, all that stuff. And so can't sing his praises enough.
You know, going into last year, not a ton of expectations for Baylor. You're the backup quarterback, right? You're not at media days, that kind of stuff. This year, you know, you see your name on top 10 list and getting a lot more pub. Baylor's a Big 12 contender. How do y'all go about managing those expectations and setting them inside your locker room?
Yeah, I feel like nothing has changed mentality-wise for us. You know, we're approaching everything the same thing we did last year. Even though the expectations and the circumstances around us have changed, you know, our preparation, the way we work, the way we carry ourselves, our mentality, none of that has changed. So we're still going out there like we're the underdog, like we don't deserve anything, and just trying to prove everybody wrong again, to be honest.
And then lastly, before we get you out of here, just so Max's background doesn't go bad here, what's your Whataburger order?
I mix it up between the patty melt, no onions, and the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, those are the two. Got to go with those two.
All righty, big year for Baylor. Sawyer Robertson, appreciate you taking time.
Thank you.